Radiant team pick.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is for all the marbles. Game number 3, basically unknown versus Vega Squadron. Which team will move on to play up against M5 for a spot in the DotaPit Season 3 group stages? And which team will go down to the losers bracket? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here. Already underway in the draft. My name is Mott. With me is Mott Pax and of course F4L. How are you after that crazy second game, man?
I'm doing pretty good. That was certainly an exciting finish to that game. And I think we might have another good game in the making. Vega, this game deciding, you know what? We're going to show you how to play IO Tiny.
They feel pretty confident with these picks. Basically, I'm saying, hey, listen, we'll grab the Disruptor this time. Zeus is picked up as well. And again, on paper, basically unknown, they have the superstars. They're the ones that many people would favor in this series. But for Vega, they say, no. We came very close to 2-0ing you. And we're going to just take it down to 2-1.
No one has played phenomenally this series. I mean, his Windrunner last game was exceptional. Like I said, I think Vega outplayed basically unknown in the previous game, winning the first game, and I definitely favor them in this current one. We'll have to see what the picks are like, but maybe they should possibly think about banning the Brood, although they do have the Tiny this time, and Tiny, definitely a hero that can clear those Spiderlings, so... Well, maybe not as scary, to be perfectly honest, when you have the Wisp Tiny, because you can always relocate, clear the Spiderlings, and then go back, so...
Yeah.
Reserve time.
Not a priority, I would think, for them this game.
No, and that's what happened. Bambo actually getting the victory on the Broodmother the last game, and it almost felt like the second game between them and Meepone, where he did a lot of work, and then they just later on in the game he couldn't accomplish enough for them to actually secure the victory. And more so than anything, it was just many mistakes, mental mistakes coming from basically unknown. They died, and honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you, they didn't deserve to win that game. I feel like,
yeah, they did not play Tiny Wisp to its fullest potential, I would say. They won honestly on the back of the Brood pick. Like, it did so much work and created so much space and havoc for Vega that they just couldn't recover from that horrible early game.
Yeah.
And basically, unknown going to go ahead and take the Disruptor like Vega did in the previous game. One of the better. I don't want to say best, but definitely a top pick against Tiny Wisp. We've talked about it. You can either glimpse one of them, you can lay down the Static Storm kinetic field on top of where they're relocating. So obviously going to be a good pick. They're going to follow that up with the Earthshaker and Zeus. So a lot of magical damage coming out from this team, as well as that long-range disable. So Earthshaker going to be quite good as well against this Tiny Wisp, providing that Fissure to sort of stop them in their tracks once they get that relocate off.
This is, I like the choices coming up basically on this draft. Seems pretty solid. And Disruptor Earthshaker support combo. They need something with a little bit of bang for their buck with their safe lane carry, honestly. They need a good off-laner as well. This Tiny IO is going to probably do a lot of work here in this lane. If they decide to send Zeus there, he's maybe in some trouble, but so far, a good draft from both squads. And they could go for Dazzle again, who played an extraordinarily good, or Seema did rather play an extraordinarily good one. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, Seema definitely playing very well on that Dazzle. A lot of clutch graves that game, even in the face of the Orchid from Sexy Bambo. So, and basically unknown going to go with the Gyrocopter. So pulling out one of Paris's best and known heroes Definitely famed for his gyrocopter.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting choice. I honestly don't know about picking this hero in the current situation. Like against a tiny wisp, it just seems a little forced. Like, is this really the best carry for this situation?
Call down's pretty good for early game relocate ganks.
Sure, but I'm just saying, like, towards the mid and late game, what's Gyrocopter going to do when a Tiny's running at him with max move speed?
He's going to flat kitting you. Oh, actually, that doesn't really do anything against the Tiny. Rocket Barrage is okay, but again, Tiny will probably have a BKB at some point. Homing Missile's been pretty good recently. Call down's been buffed. They go for the Clockwork for Vega Squadron, and this is only going to provide more lockdown for them, which this is kind of scary, honestly. There is plenty of damage from basically unknown through a Zeus ult, a Static Storm, and Gyrocopter ult in the early game. But later game, you're right. This Gyrocopter, what is he going to provide here? He'll probably just get locked down by a Clockwork Hook or by a Tiny Toss Ava. There's a lot to deal with this Gyrocopter here, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the Gyro can function well. He just has to get off to a strong start. It's very important for basically unknown to get those ancient stacks going for him. It is a hero that pretty much only functions from ahead, I would say. If you're even on farm with this Tiny, you're going to lose out in the mid to late game. So it's going to be very important for basically unknown to get ahead with the Gyrocopter specifically. Make sure that they do a good job stacking, like I said, and secure an early laning phase for the Gyrocopter. So Vega, on the other hand, go ahead and pick up the Clockwork, a hero that is good against both the Earthshaker. It's good, honestly, against all three of these first heroes, the Earthshaker, Zeus, as well as the Disruptor. If you can get that hook into Cog's Battery Assault, you can kill any of these heroes. It can be an issue sometimes in the team fights against Disruptor because it can just glimpse you away after your initiation. And they're going to last pick the Omni Knight. Very interesting. Matt has been known on his previous teams to favor this hero. I've actually seen them pick this a lot on every squad that he's been on, even when it was not popular. So not too surprising of a pick for them. I think it's going to be an off-lane Omni this game.
Mm-hmm. I like this choice coming out for them. And it's a hero that's pretty solid, and it can avoid a lot of the damage coming out from a Tiny IO, specifically the right click of the Tiny with Guardian Angel. And Repel is going to be huge. Again, this is going to allow Gyrocopter to be a bit more aggressive. I don't know if they have the best heroes with an Omni Knight, though. Usually you like to see a bit more. So
I usually like to see a very aggressive hero. But, you know, the Repel is going to be pretty nice on the Gyrocopter. Mostly the heroes we see Omni Knight with. Storm, a big favorite. Shadow Fiend. Even the Phantom Assassin can be quite nice. So, you know, it is a little unorthodox to have the Gyrocopter. Sometimes you like to see either a melee initiator or, you know, just a carry with more mobility. So it is a bit odd that they chose at least that they chose to go Gyrocopter with Omni Knight, because I can understand the Omni Knight pick more than the Gyro, to be honest. Like, they could have paired it, I think, with something a little better. Like, but we'll have to see how they do with this pick. Vega Squadron needing a mid lane hero or a safe laner, depending on how they want to lane this. It's going to be that Centaur, so a lot of aggressive heroes coming out from Vega. And this is honestly a hero that is quite nice with the Wisp. You can get the Centaur Blink initiation, followed up by the Relocate, setting up for some easy kills. So this should be a good one.
Yeah, this game already shaping up to be another solid game, especially after what we had last game, which that game was something else. One of the classics, if you will. Probably even shouldn't have been a classic. Basically, no one should have been able to take that game after they had accrued a pretty much huge lead, a 10,000 gold lead, I think is what it was at one point in time. And Vegas said, no, I don't think so. You guys aren't done yet. But you got to hand it to Matt, saving the game with his Death Ward of the previous game. How will he fare up on the supports Omni Knight coming in for him?
Yeah, and I would say from the drafting phase, I actually favor Unknown's draft just slightly. I think their team fight is much easier to execute. You know, they have the GA, the call down, the Zeus ults, all of Zeus's nukes, the long-range Fisher to help them against this strong initiation from Vega. And the synergy between Vega's heroes, not the best. I know I've talked about this before, it's particularly Clockwork, Wisp, and Tiny. I believe Clockwork and Tiny have something like a 40% win rate together. Mop packs will have to check that one out, but Not the greatest of synergy, but
Well, they'll do their
we'll have to
best
see how
here.
this goes.
And it is important to note it's the offlane Earthshaker coming in from Bambo, which this is not a hero I see too often in the offlane. 9Pasha's got a Cogs and almost pushed Paris up to the high ground. It was a good effort.
The battle begins.
That would have been so bad. He didn't have a TP scroll, obviously, and well, he'll get the battle rune, but God, that was close. Meanwhile, Bambo is, yeah, he fished the wrong direction, and actually he's going to have to walk all the way around. No TP scroll, he only has boots, and he's going to try to just make as much space for the enemy team as possible. For his team, I should say. He actually eats the tree, and he'll get away, it looks like, because of the really nice juke coming up from him, although it was pretty standard because of the tango that he had, so he just has to waste a tango there.
Yeah, I don't think there was any way that they could actually get that kill with the boots first start coming out. But it does look like we're going to have these dual lanes. The Wisp, Tiny in the mid lane up against the Zeus. Should be, you know, it's a lane that Zeus can farm in. Going to be able to use that Arc Lightning to CS, so...
Would you get more levels in the Arc Lightning because you're against...
No.
Okay.
You just need one for CSing. If you want to go ahead and start the introductions off for
Vega?
basically Unknown or Vega, whichever.
Well, I'll do basically no because you asked me to. Mind control for Zeus in the mid lane. Or no, that's Vega. Excuse me. Basically no. No, wait. No, mind control for Zeus. That's right. That's basically no. Okay, I was confused for a second. Naomi's the Disruptor. Sakshika or Paris is the Gyrocopter top lane. Middle lane or top lane still is actually Mad playing the Omni Knight. Down bottom, it's Bambo playing your Earthshaker in the off lane.
And for Vega, we're going to have 9 Bashu
Sure.
or something.
On the clockwork. Yeah.
On the clockwork. No one is going to be playing the Tiny. Arzek is going to be the IO. We're going to have Seema the Slayer on the Dazzle, and then Tron playing the Centaur.
It looks like Bambo
Sexy
is in
Bambo
trouble.
could be in trouble.
Stomp, double edge should go here, and that should be first blood, and there it is. Pretty easy, and that's just... I mean, he got too close to that creep wave, and he tried just CSing, and he just gets killed because of it.
Radiant's
And he could have waited because that
bottom
wave
tower
was
is under
pushing under his tower, and now he's not going to get any of that, unfortunately. Well, he'll get a bit, but...
Yeah, that level 1 poison attack, or poison touch slowing for 33%. Very important in getting that kill, so...
Yeah.
Nice play from the safe dual lane. Sexy Bambo probably feeling a little too confident going up against this dual lane, not respecting it quite enough.
And that means that he will go down and give away first blood, and that's going to be a fast Blink Dagger now for this Central Rower if he continues to get farm, which he should, more than likely. Top lane, Gyrocopter with 12 last hits. The Tiny in the mid lane actually has 14, so it feels like right now Vega actually have the lead in terms of how the laning is situated.
Yeah, they
Zeus
do.
only has
And
10 last hits.
Clockwork surprisingly getting a ton out of this off lane against the Disruptor. You know, Disruptor and Skywrath probably the 2 best early game supports with their nukes. Thunderstrike doing 40 damage, proccing 4 times, so 160 damage from that singular nuke.
And he's not really using it to zone out the Clockwork in this bottom lane, or this top lane, excuse me. It's
I mean,
just,
this is a victory for Clockwork up in this tri-lane.
level 3. Meanwhile, Bambo's sitting at level 3 as well, but he's got a death to his
Yeah, but
name
it's
and not
against
as
a
much
dual lane.
CS. Yep.
Yeah. So I would say this early laning phase definitely favoring Vega. 19
Bambo
CS.
forced to Fisher bottom as the poison touch goes, but this is really rough, honestly. Coming out for basically unknown. Mind Control is having a rough time mid. He has to Bottle Crow currently. Meanwhile, the Tiny is getting plenty of CS with 21.
Yeah, the Tiny is on pace with the safe lane gyro, so that is very nice for him. It's a pretty easy CSing lane, honestly. Like, the Zeus is not going to contest you for farm.
No. Maybe putting Windrunner here might have been a better option, just because it has that animation. It's so very strong. But
Yeah,
no
it is
drown.
easy. Yeah, it's easy to kill. I think it's easier to kill Windrunner when she's CSing than Zeus when he's Arc Lightning.
Yeah. Omnidon has been stacking up a couple of camps here in the jungle. And actually heads towards the mid lane to maybe keep his Zeus friends safe.
Oh, you know what the combo I was thinking of? There was a game where they had Tiny, Wisp, and Enigma. That's what it was. It
Toss
wasn't
the Enigma in
Clockwork.
and then Black Hole.
No. It was just, it's terrible because it's 2 very greedy supports, and they lost in 15 minutes. No. I was thinking because I said that Tiny Wisp with Clockwork wasn't very good, but turns out I was wrong. Actually has a 66% win rate.
Look at that. That's something else. Pretty solid combination then. Sakshka looking to get close to Rocket Barrage. No points at homing missile just yet. He's going for the old school build and getting the flat cannon. This probably is an okay choice. But 9 Posh is still getting plenty of experience. He's level 3. Bambo, I think, has had a bit better over time since a couple of minutes ago. He's actually level 4 now. Tron has to salve up because he took a lot of tower hits there. And Omni just continues to stack up this jungle camp. And I'm not sure if Zeus is going to take it, if Gyro's going to take it. But at some point, somebody's going to take that camp. That'll be pretty nice.
Yeah, they also, Vega having a really big stack for themselves as well. So 2 big stacks for both teams.
Naomi needs kinetic field, I think, for them to be able to get a kill. And even that, because Clockwork's so tanky, it's just tough.
I don't think they can kill him anymore. Like, he has boots, stout shields. He's got some levels up, level 4 now. It's going to be a very difficult kill.
Our Zeke took a lightning bolt to the face. Luckily, he had a bottle to work with, and actually it's a haste rune, so he's fine. A couple of stacks coming out for... Oh, look at this big stack for no one in our Zeke. This is very nice. Avalanche toss goes, and that's a lot of CS going their way, and Overcharge good to go. The Spirit's still doing a lot of work, and no one wants his Avalanche tosser ready to go back off cooldown. This is going to be some more farm for him. No one's getting a lot out of this, and Bracer flies too. Maybe going for a drum. Down bottom. Mad's going to catch out Cayman the Slayer. They're not going to go for him, though. Mad doesn't actually have a degen, or not that it would have mattered. I don't think they would have gotten the kill. And he doesn't have Grave. He does, but he's actually out of mana to use it. Soul Ring picked up for the Zeus. They get a bounty rune for mind control. They'll bottle up quickly. Top rune spot's been taken to regen for Io, because why not?
That is a very nice rune for him to get right now. Gonna get both of these heroes back to full HP after doing that huge stack.
Pretty solid. Just pops up the overcharge. Mad taking a lot of damage from these spirits. Lightning bolt goes in, and Arzik has to continue to bottle after just using that regen rune. And only 1 kill at 6.5 minutes. Not that much action. Kind of a boring game, to be honest. Let's pick it up, guys. Let's get something going.
Definitely favoring Vega, though. They clear that stack up to a 2,000 gold, 1,500 experience advantage. They're just having a superior laning.
Glimpse onto 9 Posh. He's in some trouble. Call down goes, but they get pushed back by the cogs, and 9 Posh stays alive. And Stampede actually went.
And it's off.
Like I said, it's gonna be a tremendously hard kill at this point. Like, they gave him too much early. Clockwork's one of these heroes.
Relocate top lane. They're going to try to go on Maomi here, and maybe Mad. He actually tries to repel himself, but he's going to toss Avalanche. That's going to be the second kill going the way of Vega. Maomi just avoids the kinetic field, but the spirits and the right click is enough. They kill all 3 heroes in this top lane. The relocate, devastating for basically Unknown, and Vega just crushed them in that lane.
Yep. So this safe tri-lane is just a disaster right now. All 3 members falling to the excellently timed relocate gank, and maybe not expecting Wisp to be 6, or just not respecting the power of the relocates. So off to a very fast start now for Vega. Doing a tremendous job in this early game. If we go ahead and take a look at the gold, already over 3,000 gold, 3,000 experience. So off to a very fast start, and we've seen when Tiny Wisp can actually snowball, unlike the last game, it can be completely devastating.
And they're going to look for mind control, maybe. Good kinetic field from Aobi to stop them from going any further, though, and Arzik will pick up a bounty rune just to have a full bottle. Bottom lane, Tron is sitting at a Blink Dagger. Okay, 8-minute Blink coming out for the Centaur, sitting at 49 CS. It's going to be go time pretty soon here for Vega. There's nothing really else they need to wait for. Maybe Clockwork Hookshot, which is just half a level away, so that's not going to be enjoyable for basically Unknown to get jumped on, to get hookshotted, to get tossed Avalanche. There's a lot. Relocate onto Bambo coming through. He's going to take a double edge. He has a haste rune. He actually might survive because they missed the Avalanche. He'll try to get into the trees and maybe TP away. These spirits, they're not going to kill him. He TP's out. They go the wrong direction. The relocate actually failing, and Bambo is staying alive, wasting a lot of time.
What a haste rune to have. I mean, it does waste some time and the relocate, but honestly, that's not too much of an investment. It's not like they use TPs or anything, and they get right back to the mid lane, can continue to farm it up. So it might seem like a lot of invested, but it really wasn't.
Just the cooldown essentially for the relocate and maybe a creep wave. Even that doesn't seem to be too big of an issue. No one goes back to the mid lane. He'll have his drum recipe done and actually send that out pretty soon. Bottom lane, actually, Lightning Bolt coming in. Zeus Soul, Tron in trouble, but he's not dead yet. The Arc Lightning, the tower hit. Will it be enough? Yes, just barely. The kill gets split because of it. Now Cam with the Slayer. He's got Grave Bamboo with no Fissure. He's actually so slow, he can't catch up to him. It's so hard for Bamboo. Now, I really don't know about the Surfshaker off lane. Well, at least not yet.
Stat. It's been tried twice recently, I believe, by Complexity and then a Southeast Asian team, I think, and it's 0-2.
It's not very good. It doesn't seem very good. Fisher going in, Avalanche as well. There's a lightning bolt. No one taking a lot of damage. They actually just keep him alive so much. The stick chart comes in and they get a double kill coming through.
Oh no, Maomi could be in some trouble as well.
Kinetic field, and they can't get the kill, unfortunately. They toss. Actually, they can get the kill. Glimpse going back in, and now RC gets to solo him, and he will with the spirits. He says, hey, let me get some balls in your face. And they get 3 kills. Oh, the Tiny IO combo. You were right when they said this is how you actually play the Tiny IO combo. Vega are styling on basically Unknown right now.
Yeah, definitely having a great performance so far in this game.
That's it. That's right. That's what happens.
Yep.
Tron, Blink Dagger. Ooh, a Smoke Ink as well. Smoke of Deceit. And Maomi is definitely an easy target to gank. Hookshot's going to go, and Tron will jump right on top. Blink, Stomp, Double Edge. Goodbye, Disruptor. Tron and 9 Posh able to get in and get out quickly.
Yeah, the only person really having a good game right now is Paris on the gyrocopter, sitting at 76 CS. They might look to have a go here.
Blink, Stomp, Double Edge. Repel comes in, and that Repel came a bit too late. They need a right click, and they're going to find it. The Stampede goes in. I don't know what he was doing there. He knew that there were still those 2 ganking heroes up in that top lane, and Mad was like, I'll repel you.
They wanted to get a kill, like use the call down with the heal and then get him the repel and then burst one of these heroes down. But I mean, he just ends up falling there. So nothing going the way of basically Unknown at the moment.
Point booster up for no one. Gets this Aghanim Scepter, and all of a sudden he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Spirit's going into my control. He's getting kind of low, actually. His bottle, though, he should be fine. Bottom Bamboo is actually getting a little bit more farm. He's trying to get to...
Surprised they haven't actually cleared this stack either. There's a double stack even that the Wisp did earlier.
He's going to stack yet again. 2 double stacks now.
Yeah, the triple stack is very difficult to actually achieve. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
You get the double stack, but...
They have the relocate available.
Radiant's top
and basically Unknown gonna have to play extremely defensive now after losing so many heroes all across the map. Centaur just continues to farm in the bottom lane. If they get a hook onto anyone in the top lane, that could even spell some additional kills with the relocates. So it's a tough game already for basically Unknown.
They're certainly in some trouble. They are down how much net worth? 4,000 at 12 minutes. And 4,000 experience. Vega, they're feeling it. Omni Knight's level 5. Still no GA yet. And what else do we have in levels? Yeah, the Disruptor's level 5 as well, so still no Static Storm. It's just not easy for basically Unknown. They have to find a couple of good Gyrocopter ults, and they've got to get him involved. They actually just have to fight his 5, and maybe even the Blink Echo Slam. It needs to happen for Sexy Bamboo, but he's 1,000 away from a Blink Dagger still, whereas Tron already has one. So
yeah, another thing, like I talked about earlier, they actually didn't stack these Ancients for the Gyrocopter, and I think that's very important when you're going to pick this hero, because this hero, when you have just normal farm, it doesn't function very well.
Echo Slam goes, Tron getting glimpsed back, but in the meantime, the IO comes in, and they get the Spirits, and they get the Toss Avalanche onto 2, and Bamboo actually lives. He'll TP away. Luckily, another double kill coming out for no one.
Yeah, they trade supports, and they get a core, so... Still a good trade for Vega. Responding very nicely with the relocates, and
no one's gonna have an axe soon.
Yeah, in all of these fights, they just have a numbers advantage with the relocate, and they're too under-leveled right now, too under-farmed to do anything about it.
No one has been a force this series in all 3 games, and in this game he is 5-0-2 with an Ags at about 15 minutes in. Call down goes and does very little damage. No one is actually just fine. And the overcharge just does so much work there. 14.5 minutes in, and yeah, well, Tron gets a kill bottom as well. Maomi getting caught out. Cogs went, and they get an easy kill. I think they maybe glimpsed the clockwork out of his hook shot, probably. But look at this aggressive play coming from no one in RZ. My control is under the tower, and he doesn't. I mean, he has to run. Meanwhile, the fight's going to break out on the opposite side. Paris is actually. He's doing a lot of work. The Zeus ult's going to go in. The Fisher blocks them in as well, but no one's dead yet. And it looks like that flat cannon with only one proc left. The rocket barrage did a lot of damage, and the repel is good, but they can't get a kill. They just can't do anything. They're so tanky.
That was so close to being a triple kill. Had that, or at least a double kill. Had that Fisher actually blocked off all the heroes, there was just a tiny little space left. Very unfortunate for Bambo. A very nice Fisher, though. Just a bit unfortunate that it didn't quite block them off.
I could have staved off no one's getting his Aghanim Scepter, but instead, Stampede bottom lane. They're looking for Bambo. They actually need to get away. The Fisher came through. Echo Slam not there. There's the repel into Bambo. Naomi comes in. Glimpse now back out on somebody. That's going to be the Tiny and the Iowa, I think. On the other side of things, Naomi getting caught out by Non-Posh. He's in some trouble. He'll fall. Now the Fisher onto RZ. He's low, but not dead yet. Relocates out at just the last second. Double Edge comes in. Dominating spree for Tron, but he does fall momentarily after. And it's 2 for 2 so far. Interesting.
2 for 2 with very a little bit over aggressive from Vega. They get a nice glimpse onto the Tiny after the relocate, so it becomes a 4 versus 5, and then they trade 2 for 2. So pretty good exchange for basically Unknown, considering this current circumstance and situation of the game. But in the end, mid tower, I believe the mid tower just fell. No, that was already dead. Never mind. I think it's time for Vega to start splitting the map, as Bambo does get hook shot in the bottom lane by the clockwork.
Yeah, battery assault goes, he's just dead.
Nothing he can do about that.
Non-Posh is starting to get a couple of kills as well. His clockwork's been involved in a couple of them. He's 3, 1, and 5, and Bambo again. Further and further away from his Blink Dagger we go. It's 60 minutes in. Not great. And also, Tiny going for a Blade of Alacrity, maybe a Yasha, maybe into a full Manta style. Drum Charge popped, and actually Stampede. Paris is in trouble. Avalanche Toss combo coming in, and double kill for RZ.
Even with the glimpse, the double kill with the balls. Well, nothing is going right for basically Unknown. This is an unfortunate game for them. A very strong performance from the Tiny Wisp combo. If you look at their combined 5-0-5 for the Tiny, 4-0-7 for the Wisp.
Top tower is under attack.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, definitely playing well. A Force Staff now completed for the Centaur, so his item progression is quite nice. I know we saw yesterday there was a Wisp game with a Centaur, and I believe the Centaur had like a 20-minute blink. It was just not a fun time for him that game. But
this game, 8-minute blink dagger for Tron.
Yeah,
and a Force coming out now at about 17 minutes. They're gonna smoke. They won't find anybody. I think at bottom is actually going to be a problem here for this clockwork. Fisher comes out, and actually he walks away. And everyone's TPing, and they know this is happening. They see Paris up in front. They see Sakshika
as well.
My control's here. They're going to try to go in Non-Posh. Arc Lightning goes. There's the Lightning Bolt, but good cogs, and they actually just can't. Well, nope. There's going to be Glimpse Kinetic Field.
They should know to relocate now.
Relocate might be coming in. There's the Stomp. Naomi in trouble, and Tron is going to fall to the Lightning Bolt. There's the Static Storm coming in on top of no one, and the IO actually just not taking any damage at all. Echo Slam does nothing to no one, but now he's in some trouble. The Guardian Angel, no one finally might fall down here. The overcharge. It's not enough. Few falls, but IO does relocate out in time. It's a 3-for-1 trade. Finally, a fight for Unknown going their way. And they got a mega kill streak going for fucking mad. That gets him some farm. He's up to 1,000 gold now. Big fight going their way. They got 2,000 gold out for that engagement. 900 for the Zeus coming as well.
That was so close to Tiny living there. The relocate was like 0.1 second, and he got healed. The purification came out onto Paris at the last second. A very well played fight from Mad. Getting some nice heals off, the repel, and the GA saving the day.
Yeah, that GA was huge, keeping everybody alive. 860 gold to Omni Knight, 635 to Gyro, and 955 to Zeus. So the only thing that right now Unknown are a bit sad about is Bambo's crying because he can't get his Blink Dagger. He just, for some reason, he can't get there. He's so close. He's got 200 gold away from it. He's going to get in this creep wave. There he goes. Blink Dagger now completed for Bambo, and finally.
Yeah, that's a huge item pickup for him.
He needs level 2 ultimate too, though. He does no damage to the level 1 ultimate against the Tiny and the IO.
Yeah.
All right, that fight provides them a bit of gold going in their favor, but still, Vega have an 8,000 net worth lead and a 5,000 experience lead. So
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
it's difficult still. I mean, no one continues to take ancient stacks. They got a couple of kills. In fact, Tron gets a kill to Naomi. I don't know what he was doing there.
They tried to relocate to help him kill the disruptor, but he actually just gets the solo kill. Disruptor with no items to speak of at the moment.
Repel from Mad. 9 Posh is walking up, trying to make his way away from the Omni Knight. And
boom, there it goes.
he does get out in time. And at 20 minutes in, this game's a bit closer than it looked for the first 15.
It's still a 9,000 gold lead. About almost experience is a bit closer, about 6,000. So still a very strong advantage for Vega at the moment. And their late game cannot be underestimated.
Same can be said, though, for basically Unknown. You have a Gyrocopter and a Guardian Angel from Omnidat, which at some point will be Ags. Who knows when that'll happen.
The GA is the biggest late game. Like, Tiny is much better than Gyro in the late game, like in a 1v1 situation. Or in a team, even a team fight situation. I think Tiny fares better in the late game than Gyro.
Well,
He actually goes for an SNY, a bit of an interesting pickup. Not too sure about this. You know, sometimes we see the Yasha, but it's more of a casual Yasha.
instead, he goes and picks up a full SNY. Speaking of casual, Yasha, Tiny has one.
Yeah,
Probably
I mean,
Manta.
it kind of makes sense because he's going to get repelled, so not needing the BKB, but he still wants some HP that the BKB would normally provide, so it's not a bad choice, I think, going for the Sage and Yasha.
Oh my god, the glyph even comes out for this tier 1 tower. They just can't pick it off in time, and it's going to fall. Top lane, TP coming in from Bambo. They're going to try to defend, but look at who's coming through the jungle. The Io and the Tiny ready to go. Whereas the rest
I'm
of
not
the rating
sure
Dire
about
squad
this
are not
decision.
here. Zeusil comes in, relocate onto Bambo. He has already used his Echo Slam. He did get the Tron Centaur, but the Purification goes, and the Repel is just a bit too late. 1-for-1 exchange. At least Bambo gets a lot of that gold, and he needs that, so. Static Storm going in. They actually catch out Arzeek, and it's because he relocated. They thought they were going to bring the Tiny back in, but they actually left him there. And a lot used just for that Tiny, or that Io, but still. At least it's something.
Yeah, basically, Unknown actually doing a very good job right now with their execution and decision making.
Hook shot. Nice Purification. Repel comes out afterwards, but there's no follow-up.
They need something to deal with this Repel. Either like a Diffusal or just killing the Omni Knight first, but this Repel is proving to be quite a problem at the moment, and same with the Guardian Angel.
Well, Tiny is getting a Manta style, and that's not going to help. I mean, you don't see a Diffusal Tiny too often, and I don't know what else they can get.
I'm not too sure about Diffusal on Tiny. Maybe you get it on Centaur, possibly. I think you get it on Centaur, actually. I mean, later in this game, you're going to start picking it up on supports, but right now it's kind of unrealistic to expect a support to get that item.
Yeah.
There's a DD in the bottom lane. Will Vega be able to scout this one out? Roche is also available. Maybe that could be an objective that one of these teams looks for in the near future. They have the medallion. Oh, Mad could be in some trouble here.
Repel just at the last second. Hookshot comes in, it misses. And Mad's baiting as best as possible, but they're not going to take it. And instead, he has to heal himself up. He's got a bottle and might purify himself or just wait for the Tranquils to activate. Relocate bottom. They're going to get the tier 1 tower just with the relocate. And the Manta style is finished up as well. The illusion's actually going to work on Paris already. The Rocket Barrage is going to go, but they're pretty tanky. You know, they'll fall. Now they're going to try to assault the mid lane here.
I'm not sure that I like this Manta style choice on the Tiny. I just feel like there's better items you could be purchasing. You know, Assault Curious comes to mind. Possibly even a BKB this game. Like, just look at the magic damage that comes out from basically Unknown. They have the Disruptor Silence, all the magic damage from Gyro, from Zeus.
The Glimpse long range, but it doesn't really bring him back that far. And, well, Zeus used for nothing there, essentially.
Yeah, a little bit of a waste of abilities there, so might be an opening for Vega to try to do something while the Zeus ult is on cooldown.
Instead, basically, Unknown are going to go into the Roche Pit now.
This could be very dangerous.
They have relocate.
No, 16 seconds.
Well, 16 seconds they'll relocate. They just don't do enough damage here. They have a double damage rune, and that's still not enough. The Flare's going to come in and it's going to scout it out, and they just realize that they need to back immediately. Instead, they're going to go mid lane. He came with the Slayer. He weaved himself. He actually has a medallion. He didn't weave himself.
Fear nothing.
Repel now onto Sakshika. Now the glimpse back in. Kinetic field and Night Flash forces out. And the Cox is going to go as well, but the Fissure blocked from Bambo, and that'll provide the kill. Now this might be the opening if they want to go for Roche. We'll see. I don't know. It looks like no. That's not the case. Yeah, they're just going to instead walk towards bottom lane and push that out quickly.
So if we go ahead and take a look at gold, yeah, even though basically Unknown are getting kills, they aren't really coming back into this game. Like, they're getting out-farmed because they're constantly in this 5-man group. So the kills aren't really netting them anything in terms of net graph or net worth, and it does look like Wisp is going to start working on the Diffusal Blade. Gets the first... wait a second. I swear I saw someone buy... Alright, I'm so confused. I saw the Blade of Alacrity on the courier, and then now it's...
I think you
oh,
saw
no,
it.
it's on the ground. No, it's on the ground. I
found
knew I'm not crazy.
He didn't have any gold. I was going to say, you're insane. He probably sold it back, but nope. It's on the ground.
So Wisp is going to begin to work on that Diffusal Blade, which will be very important. The first time the Diffusal gets used, it'll actually most likely net a kill onto the Gyrocopter, because he's going to be in a very aggressive position with the Repel on, and once he gets Diffusal, they're just going to instantly burst him down. So it's going to be a very important item pickup.
Speaking of the BKB you talked about for Tiny, he is in fact going for that item with the Mithrheimer. Meanwhile, Earthshaker gets the kill bottom on 9. Pashi actually gets the solo. He actually jumps in, Echo Slams, and kills the Clockwork. And now Bambo has been getting a lot of solo kills, but he's not saving these Echo Slams for fights. He's just trying to get whatever kill he can across the board.
And Bambo again with another solo kill. Well, sort of solo kill, getting assisted by the Zeus ultimate onto the Clockwork. But like I said, they are still getting out-farmed from Vega. Gold not really changing too much. So while they are getting these pickoffs, the gold advantage remaining the same for Vega. There's a DD here at the bottom lane. And Vega are going to get this one. And unlike basically Unknown, they can kill Roche extraordinarily fast.
Yeah, this double damage rune is going to come in. BKBs come out for 2 heroes, both the Centaur and the Tiny. That's frightening. Meanwhile, it just feels like basically Unknown, they're just losing map control and just slipping little by little out of this game. And now the smoke comes out, and if they go right into Roche to take the Sages, and they probably go for some tier 2s and try to finish off the outer towers if possible.
Oh, they're going to go for Roche. Yep, they're going to smoke into Roche with this DD rune. It's going to wear off in a second, but...
Oh, nice Fissure. Bambo knew immediately. And still no Echo, though. Zeusult flies in, and Flare comes. The mech is going to keep them up and fighting. Everyone heading over towards the Bros Pit right now. No one might get relocated out if anything bad happens here, but the Roche should fall. Lightning Bolt coming in. Bambo's going to Fissure. Force in. Mind Control. They want this Aegis. They won't get it. It's going to go to the Radiant. And it actually is Tiny picking up the Aegis as well. Bambo getting caught out. He's going to fall to the Tiny as well. Static Storm on the other side. Clockwork was picked up. Now the Repel going in. Kima the Slayer in some trouble. Guardian Angel is going to make sure that all this damage is not really being done to both Paris and everyone else on the map, but it doesn't matter. Matt's in some trouble. Purification is good to go. And well, the glimpse back out onto no one, I believe. No.
It doesn't make him move anywhere. It's the fortunate part there.
And Naomi is going to get jumped on. And actually, the only one alive is going to be Paris. They won't dive that far.
A nice attempt from basically Unknown to try to get that Aegis, but just mistimed slightly. And, I mean, they don't have any vision in the pit, so...
They're going to go up to the high road now that Glyphs is on cooldown. There's no reason not to. Nobody has buybacks except for the Omni Knight, and everyone's dead for about 10 more seconds. And Zakshka could try his best with call down, but that's not going to do any damage really at this point in the game. Overcharge is going to go, and no one's just fine with it. Mantis Style is going to go, and yeah.
Damage Tiny does.
This Rax is dead. The melee Rax is going to fall. The range Rax, they're not going to go for it. They're going to back up. That's a smart decision. Good call coming out. And already this game just gets that much more difficult for basically Unknown. And Vega have played an amazing series. They're looking to capitalize and finish it off in the next couple of minutes here.
Do you think Gyro goes for the Divine?
I think he has to at this point. He's probably saving up. I mean, he would have bought the MKB probably. He could be saving for buyback.
Yeah, for buyback possibly.
I don't even know if Divine's going to be enough at this point.
Are they actually going to team fight this? There's no Guardian Angel. I don't think this is the team fight you want. All right, smartly backing off. I think that could have been a complete disaster. I mean, if you lose that fight, you probably just lose the game. But
there's the
defusal for Wisp. And I talked about
this. He's going to sell his Aquila. Sakshika's going to sell his Aquila and buy his
he's going to farm this. But oh no, the defusal is going to come out right when he buys his rapier, if that is what he's planning on doing.
That's probably so that's going to be what happens.
He's gonna buy the rapier. He's gonna be repelled. He's gonna go and try to do all his damage, and then he's just gonna get defusal, then instantly dead.
This might be rough for Sakshika. Oh man. Oh god. 200 gold away from his divine rapier. He's repelled currently. 50 gold now away from that divine rapier. He's just all canceled, coming out from my control. Lightning bolt. They want vision. Sakshika, you got 1 CS you got to farm. You might send the courier instead to get that. Please. You know what you want to see, Sakshika. We know you want it. He's being very patient about it. Bambo is, by the way, shadow amuleted. Here in the trees looking for an Echo Slam target. Fisher's going to go, and he actually just is going to jump away in TP, and he's going to be fine. Here we go. Divine? No, he doesn't go for it. He's thinking about it. Sakshika. No. Yes. There it is.
They haven't seen Wisp right on the map, so they don't know that the defusal is
I don't think so. He's been completely with Tiny the entire time, and they haven't been farming lanes. They've been farming the jungle.
I mean, this is gonna be the game. I think this fight, if they can convincingly win this fight, they still have hope. There is the Shadow Blade coming out from the Earthshaker. They actually know. They know there's a Sentry Ward dropped.
Stomp onto Bambo. He can't get his Echo Slam off Kenny. He's going to get GA, and he gets it off. Now the Flat Cannon comes in, and Tron taking a lot of damage. The Aegis is still there for no one. Paris is in some trouble. Defusal was not used onto Paris. He's getting slapped down. Still in some trouble. They have to leave, and it's a 2-for-1 trade so far. Basically, if they get out right now, they win this fight, but they are going to lose mind control. And instead, it's 2 supports for a support and a core. GA used, hookshot coming in, and it's going to be on the mat. He's done. Buyback status is not there for everybody that is dead. And Sakshika is going to have to do his utmost to be able to defend this. Bambo somehow lives. I don't know how that happened.
He can't fight without Omni, though. Like, he's just going to die.
No repel for another 40 seconds. No GA for another 108 seconds. Static Storm's down. Zeus ult is down. This should be a Rax, probably. The Aegis is still there for no one. And that damage was pretty underwhelming for that Gyrocopter. Not that he got much to... He didn't get much damage off because his Flat Cannon didn't do that much work. Kinetic Field, Fisher, Enchant Totem, they're going to kill no one. All right, the Aegis is down. They defend the racks, but the Tier 3 is still in trouble. Mad comes in as well. He just bought back. He just had enough money. Repel is up. They don't actually have Io to stop this Repel. And Paris gets the kill on 9 Pasha. Now the Purification, Stampede, and oh, no one's going to fall again. And he does have buyback. They take the Tier 3 tower, but they've defended their base convincingly.
I mean, it cost them a lot, right? They bought back... actually, they only bought back on one of the heroes, I believe. The
Omni, yeah.
The Omni. But, I mean, you see it right there. The problem with going like this build onto the Gyrocopter, and he's probably going to pick up a BKB next to rectify this, but if the Omni is dead, Gyro can't fight at all. Like, he has to have these repels to get the Flat Cannon off. Honestly, the damage of the Flat Cannon in the last team fight was pretty substantial. It ended up killing Wisp from full. So he's doing quite a lot of damage. The problem is no one else on this team does any damage. Like, the Zeus got kind of blown up. He was forced to run around in circles. Only really got his ult off maybe 1 bolt. So they need more damage coming out from these other members of the team. They weren't able to... They also didn't, I don't believe, got any Earthshaker spells off.
Oh, Seema the Slayer. Oh, no. Actually, Bambo is stuck. I think he can't move through these trees. Fisher stops the TP scroll, enchant. And he can't move, actually. Seema the Slayer is going to walk right next to him. There's the enchant. There's the Echo Slam. Another enchant. Goodbye, my friend. Nice. But the relocate comes in. Do they have detection? They don't.
They don't have detection.
That relocate now in cooldown. flare goes, they are just trying to find Bamboo, and he's just, please don't kill me, please don't kill me, please don't kill me. He's able to blink, gives a TP scroll as well. He goes back into lane for whatever. What are you doing, Bamboo? Oh, Fisher comes out. He's baiting pretty well, actually. He's wasting a lot of time, but there's the hook shot, and Bamboo is going to fall in the end. Glips is going to go. I don't know why he did that. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but that was definitely not the smart play.
Yeah, that was inadvisable to say the least.
Dota or something. My God.
I mean, he evades 2 of them and then goes back to farm the lane.
Question mark, question mark,
no one,
question mark.
no one's on the map either. That was just some questionable Dota right there. That was super greedy. I mean, he doesn't... I guess it's not the worst thing in the world because Echo Slam's not available, so even if they were to go right now, probably wouldn't even be forced to buy back.
Middle lane.
I would imagine he should probably looking towards a BKB for himself as well. Yeah, the BKB now out for Paris, so not as reliant on the repel anymore. So that is very important. Tiny going for the Talisman of Evasion, most likely going to be that Butterfly. So not opting for the Daedalus next. Going for some more defensive items. Has the AC, so lots of armor. Going to have the Evasion as well. No MKB on the Gyro, so I like this choice quite a bit.
I don't know, man. This game's still, it's up in the air.
Oh, a DD bottle.
No, maybe not. More after the double damage comes out. God. I'm going to have to hope that GA helps them out this time around. Did Gyro pick up the BKB? Yes, you were talking about that, I believe. And Roche respawns in 1 minute. It is actually one of the shortest durations you can get. Well, a minute longer than the shortest duration, but still pretty solid. And they have to push out bottom lane. They have to continually push out mid lane because of the mega creeps, but so still goes. They see that everyone's bottom, and now if you're Tron and Vega, no mech now, maybe back away altogether. They're thinking about it. This is tough. Roche is going to be up very soon.
I think if you're Vega, you wait for Roche. It's much... Oh, okay, they're going to go for a smoke play. If they can get a pick off here, that's really great. But if not, they're not going to feel too pressured. They do have this DD on the Tiny, which can be pretty big.
Here we go. Tron is going to walk in. They're going to spot him out. They see him there. Calldown's going to go. Paris, he's going to pop his BKB. Guardian Angel goes as well at no one. Taking some damage from that usage of the Rapier, but it's just not enough. He's so tanky. They're still chasing. Meanwhile, on the backside, Mind Control gets used up in the air. The Flat Cannon doing work, but Unknown, or no one rather, still in an okay spot. They lose 2 on basically Unknown's side. Now they're chasing after Tron here. He's limping away. He is going to make it out alive, and now the Rax is exposed. They have a glyph. They're going to have to use it, but no one just obliterates this melee Rax. Flat Cannon back up now. They have to try to use it to get some sort of damage. Buyback coming in. They're going to take the melee Rax bottom. Fisher onto 9 paws. She should go down, but the Ghost Scepter actually keeping him alive, forces to the low ground, and they will get the Enchant Totem kill. Now no one getting chased down. Paris is wicked sick. Eul Scepter up in the air. Purification. No one is going to fall. He gets graved. See him with the Slayer on the backside. He graves him, but it doesn't matter. He should still go down anyways. The question is, going to get the kill? No. Now Seaman's going to go down. They might get the Courier as well. They do. What was on that Courier? That was a huge Talisman of Evasion coming out. Triple kill coming out. I believe that was Paris getting it, and they're going to head over to Roche as well. Go to Roche. Go to Roche. Roche. Check it. Check Roche.
All right, so they're going to... What is going on?
Well, they lost the melee Rex. I don't know. Still.
Yeah, they did lose the melee Rex. So now down two racks, almost 2 sets of racks, but not quite. They are going to get the Aegis now onto Paris's Gyrocopter. Most likely going to drop the drums for this. He's actually closing on a Butterfly as well, and
that he needs more damage, and a Butterfly will provide just that.
This is getting pretty scary for Vega, but I think there's going to be some times where they can just backdoor top. Like, it's going to be very difficult for basically Unknown to defend these backdoor plays that Vega now have available to them, since they have 2 lanes of constantly pushing.
Yeah, Soul Cross is done as well, and so the damage is going to be there for them to obliterate those tier 3 towers and Raxes.
Yep.
I don't know. It's not like last game where basically a number of 2 Raxes and then Vega came and crept back, or rather, vice versa.
Also, the Tiny sort of messed up. He activated the double damage rune and then used BKB instead of, yeah. So he actually did not use the DD at all in that team fight.
That could have been huge.
A bit of a mistake coming out from no one.
Omnidite.
That's actually quite unfortunate.
Yeah, that probably would have provided them a lot. But they did have the GA, so maybe it wouldn't have mattered. Probably would have, but still. Sakshika buys his full butterfly, and he's up to about,
I mean, they are all in.
563 damage, roughly. About 560, we'll see.
There's no sense saving any golds on this gyrocopter.
Yeah.
Has the Aegis. If he dies twice, the game's over anyways, so.
Honestly, it just feels like he maybe needs another rapier. Or like an MKB or something. Just any more damage. Any damage he can get, he needs it desperately. Because the Tiny's so tanky. The Assault Cross gives him 29 armor total. He has a Mantis Style, which provides him some. I mean, he's pretty damn tanky at this point. And another rapier, and that Tiny dies 10 times faster, but that's difficult to farm into. And they're actually just going to run down mid lane. They have the Aegis here, and who knows what can happen. I mean, they'll try their best, but guess what's happening bottom? They're going to try to clear up this range racks, and you might have to see a TP coming through. But the problem is Sakshi doesn't have a TP at all.
They might even just go for the throne, honestly.
Yeah, if Sakshi has no TP, they actually maybe just need to walk back home. Because this melee rack, this range rack is dead. They're going to go for the, they're going to go throne. What's happening?
Respond?
They don't have a TP on their main carry, and this is not going to do anything. Stampede's going to go. Paris is walking back to the base. At the very least, the tier 4s are going to fall. Fisher comes in. There's the BKB. Are they just going to win the game right here? No one actually is going to try to TP away. BKB, wow, he got both tier 4s.
For the Wisp.
Oh my god. That was not the right play, basically.
I mean, the problem is they're forced into this situation. He can't carry a TP right now because he can't afford bots.
He needs them.
That was a very unfortunate situation. They were caught between a rock and a hard place. Like, do we go back and defend bottom, which is going to waste a lot of time because there's only 2 minutes left on the Aegis, or do we try for an all-in play? But that is a tiny Wisp. You are not going to win all-in plays against that hero, so...
Unless that hero is dead with no buyback.
Unfortunately, having to TP all their heroes home and just walk the gyro back, losing 2 tier 4s.
The Ancient is exposed. That was not the play to be made.
This is nearly irrecoverable now. Like, against a tiny Wisp in the current situation that they're in, they can just... I don't know how they defend this anymore. Like...
This Aegis is going to be useless.
It's going to be so hard to push now. Yeah, he does get bots. So.
I mean, he had to. That was the entire reason that situation happened. No bots.
Yeah, does it even matter, though? Because they can relocate into the base, hit it 5 times, he can BKB, force glyphs. It's just like, he can just do it over and over, right? And how many times can they defend this?
The problem is that they're trying to push them in without Aegis. I mean, this Aegis is going to go down as soon as it gets to this tier 2 tower also. And you're right, this is, I mean, even if they keep all of the lanes pushed out, which they certainly aren't. Well, meanwhile, Tiny's going in, and this is Paris with still the Aegis, and he needs to keep himself alive. Maybe not. No one's in trouble, has to pop the BKB, so Aegis is gone. But look how much damage he did. Now top lane, Hookshot actually comes in. That'll be onto Mind Control, but just to push them back. Top lane,
ooh, nice force
of the Slayer. Echo Slam comes in from Bambo, and he gets the kill. Zeusol goes as well. They didn't even need it. So 2 ults to use there just for a Dazzle and to stop the pressure top lane from said Dazzle.
Yeah, he's probably fine with it. Like, that was a really good force staff for making sure that he has to use the Echo to kill him. He dodged the Fisher coming out, so forcing Bambo to use the Echo Slam there, buying more time for his team.
Roche is up in 4 minutes time, which, let's see, it's currently...
And they're just trying to push this bottom lane in. And it'll be interesting to see, do they decide to possibly make a relocate play on the throne, forcing the glyph, or even getting a lot of damage onto it? Because even if there's heroes there to defend, they can still get...
They'll get half damage at least. With how many, like with an overcharge and... Yeah, it's...
Tiny doesn't have buyback right now, so they're going to wait on that.
Yeah, that's probably why. Buyback is ready in how much gold exactly? If my I button worked. Let's see here. 197. Okay. Well, now he's got it. Now you could relocate and be fine. They're really just sitting around this bottom lane with the smoke deceit. They were trying to find somebody out of position, and they can't find anybody. Sakshika has 1,000 gold now after he bought his bots. And do you get another rapier? Is that your choice? I mean, I don't know if that's
Satanic, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you just all in with another rapier. Who knows?
I just don't know. I don't know if there's any item that actually just wins you this game, or even comes close to winning you this game.
Wait. Oh, Tiny actually. Tiny sold the Talisman of Evasion for the MKB.
Yep. He was going to go for a butterfly.
I was trying to find it. I was like, where is this talisman?
It was on the courier. It was actually flying out to him. So he didn't sell it after he bought it, like right after. He sold it sometime after he bought it, so. Alright, top lane, Bambo.
Maybe you get crit, but that only applies to the target that you're hitting.
I think Rapier.
Crit's more damage to the primary target, but less damage to like the overall, the AoE damage.
Double Rapier will clear out a team with the exception of the Tiny. It will kill everyone else. Like
yeah, but I'm saying, well, he's probably gonna kill these supports and the clockwork without having a second Rapier. Like if he gets crit, and then he'll do more damage to the target that he's hitting. So maybe Daedalus is actually a better item.
I'll have to wait and see. He still has plenty of time before we get to that next item.
And he can also buy the crit portion. Just a Helm of Dominator. It's a morbid mess. So going for a Satanic, not opting for more damage, and they're just stuck in their base. The only way they win this game is mistakes from Vega at this point.
Well, they've been playing mistake-free Dota for most of the series, so that's gonna be tough. Roche is up in a minute, and you can already see that Tiny's just making sure that they secure this Roshan. He has a double damage as well, so if they try to fight outside of the Roche, assuming that deity is still up, they'll just get obliterated. Eul Scepter for Omni Knight, refusing to go Aghanims, or not refusing, but deciding against it. And he'd probably take too long to build that anyways at this point. He could buy a point boost if he wanted to. And more than likely going to try to save for buyback. There's no buyback on the Dire team, 3 heroes with buyback on the Radiant team, and this is just, looks to be that the bell is tolling.
We're in for a long one, I believe. This could be like a 60-70 minute game, honestly, if they just sit in their base.
It could also be them dying if they try to go for Roshan, which is now up in literally a couple of seconds here.
No. Vega are going to get all the Roches from here. Like, unless something very strange happens, there's no way that Unknown should be allowed to get a Roche.
That Radium's reward actually just paying so much right now. Giving so much vision. And Roche is finally up. And actually Tron's just going to walk in and... No, he actually sees... I think he was trying to blink out of the high ground there. There is a ward there. And I think they know that it's there, so... Haven't they been lightning bolting? Didn't he not get this ward with the lightning bolt?
I wasn't paying close attention. I don't know where exactly he bolted. I did see him bolt in this general area, so I'm not exactly sure.
I'm surprised they didn't counter ward that.
Bambo it is sort of dangerous.
Top lane's getting pressured, and they just have to move as 5. They just can't go anywhere alone. Zeuslock goes and does a decent bit of damage, but I mean, everyone they just get vision essentially. The problem with the Zeus ult is that it doesn't show where Tiny and Io can go to. Like, they can just relocate anywhere. It doesn't really give you good information. It just shows you where they are on the map currently. It's really more important for the rest of the team.
Yeah, they're just doing it to make sure that they're not smoked, I think.
Yeah. Helm could be completed if you wanted to, but he really just needs the Satanic. So they'll head over to Roche, and the problem is there's plenty of vision here, and while this is happening, guess who's going to go right top, and they're going to take this tier 3 tower if they're not careful. I mean...
you can't Roche. Like, they're just going to lose too much.
Yeah, they have to TP back now, and they,
they know.
This ward is actually... Oh, the Io... Eul Scepter's going to go, and Tiny can't afford to fight the Static Storm, and Io's going to be dead. And he doesn't have buyback, not that it matters. He's dead for 80 seconds, actually. That's pretty big. Roche might still get taken. They're actually chasing after Tiny here. Hex is up, and Chant Totem's going to go. Can they get enough damage here? Now the cooldown going as well. He's going to pop the BKB. He's going to try to fight. They need a repel on Paris. They need anything, and G8, it's going to go, and no one is in trouble. He does have buyback. The rest of the team is coming, but he doesn't have bots. Eul Scepter now up under the clockwork. This was the mistake they were looking for. Cox are going to go. Now the Echo Sled coming in. It's going to be on Seema the Slayer. He's in trouble. He might get his grave off. The Ghost Scepter's going to go. Clockwork still alive, just barely. Hookshot goes in on the backside of the creep wave. Now the grave is going to go, but still he's going to fall. Medallion's up, and he's dead. Sakshika's going to right-click him down. 3,000 gold in the bank for him. The Ancient taking damage from the creeps here, but very little damage. And now Matt comes in. He'll purify and make sure that the creep wave
Tron
gets off.
gonna go for this kill?
Tron goes in. Bambo in trouble. BKB is going to fly. Stop. Double Edge is going to be the kill. 4 staff away, but not enough. Tron getting right-click down, but it's just not enough damage. They will lose 2 heroes there. They defend their Ancient. They get the Tiny in the eye. That's huge, but...
He could have killed the gyrocopter there. I'm like befuddled why he didn't go for the gyro. Maybe he missed his blink or something, but that could have been rapier down.
Either way.
Probably the game. But goes for this the Earthshaker kill. I think he messed up his blink and then was like, oops. And then just decided to kill the Centaur instead. It looks like a Hex now completed on the Centaur. It's a big item pickup. It's going to remove the evasion.
What did that actually do, though, for the Dire team?
Not much.
They actually lost damage on their Ancient. Lost health, I should say.
Yeah, it actually didn't do anything. Like, they kill some heroes. It looks nice.
It was
the pressure on your base
is
not
victory.
alleviated. Yeah, the pressure on the base is not alleviated. Tron even starting up Roshan himself.
And there's no Dire
Does it
vision around there.
extremely slowly, so yeah, they're just gonna. Tiny's gonna come in. Who's gonna take this Aegis? Maybe the Tiny takes it, puts the
put your
BKB
treads
on the
down.
courier.
I'd say maybe your treads. I'm not sure. You might need move speed though, and yeah, this is a dead. Roshan, it's gonna be the Aegis, and then this is. That might be it for Biscuit. I don't know if you can afford to give away Aegis and...
Oh, the Wisp.
What? Oh, no. Zeus just tried to snag that and dies. And the cheese actually goes to Seema.
Oh, he doesn't have buyback.
Questionable plays all around.
Okay.
I suppose you have to try something there, but actually I don't think you do, but...
I mean, the Tiny doesn't have a slot for the Aegis, right? Unless he drops his BKB, puts the BKB on the courier, uses the Aegis without BKB, and then flies himself the courier while he's dead. I mean, the BKB. I mean, that is a legitimate play. I think that's like something you can do when you're 6-slotted. Because usually you don't want to pop your BKB till you have your second life anyways.
It's
but
easier said than done.
It is a little risky.
Zeus is up in 35 seconds. Glyph is not going to last that long. In fact, they don't have Glyph. They just used it for the Ancient. I don't know. This might be it. I don't know if they can fight this 4v5, even with
Putting
Rapier.
the weave onto the Tiny.
Well, Flat Cannon, Rocket Barrage, and Barris actually is going to get hexed up. Stop. Static Storm's going to go. Purification, Guardian Angel. He'll stay alive. Pops his BKB. They take the tier 3 tower. There's no real damage coming in again from this Gyrocopter. They're just not doing anything. Buyback coming out from the Disruptor. Meanwhile, the mid lane and the bottom lane. Look at the Ancient. So low. They just can't defend this now. Top lane's going Bamboo. His Echo Slam was just used. Doesn't really do anything in this situation. Fish is going to go. No one taking a lot of damage. Flat Cannon going in. I think it's the call down mostly than anything else. And meanwhile, bottom lane, Hex is up on a 9 posh, but he got the Ghost Scepter off, and Chant Totem's going to go the Rocket Barrage as well. He will die, it looks like. The Lightning Bolt going in, but it doesn't matter. Look at top lane. Rax is going to go down. The Mega Creeps are going to go here. And that's going to be it, I think. They jump in and Chant Totem. Bambo's trying his best. Paris is going to be repelled up, but Vega should be the ones moving on. No one. Now graved up a bit too early, and they just don't, they can't get Paris, but it doesn't matter. Mission accomplished. They've already taken all of the buildings in the base for the most part. The exception of the well and a couple of huts here and there. Matt's going to get jumped on, and now no one's going to fall. He does have buyback. He's not going to use it yet. There's going to be the Aegis now for the IO. Sakshika is still alive, but with Mega Creeps down, the Ancient's just a couple of moments away from dying, so.
Dire's courier has been
And they lose their courier to something. It was actually just creeps. It died to creeps.
Yep.
Bambo getting hexed up. Tron jumping on top of him. I think they had a gem, and he walked into it. He shadow bladed up. Fisher goes through. Bambo dead. No buyback. He's dead for 90 seconds. That seems to be it, man. Well, he buys 2 rapiers. That's great, but good luck
So
with that.
he'll do a bit more damage, you know, deciding that, you know, the lifesteal was not cutting it, but that is a throne with 1,000 life and no other structures to speak of.
I think it's physically impossible for them to win this game now.
Yeah, it is. There's no way to win anymore.
Zeusol glimpses back out. 9 Posh pops his blade mail. He is his hook shot. Kinetic field doesn't actually connect. He hooks in on the 2. He might get both of these. The Dagon actually only gets the 1 disruptor, but still no buyback. One of the last huts destroyed, and those are the only things cutting it now. And actually, a butterfly, despite having double rapier, it doesn't matter how much damage you do. Butterfly is going to make sure that you really can't kill that hero. And there's so many creeps. It's just basically Unknown are trying their damnedest to hold on to this game, and
Dire's Ancient is under attack.
Relocate comes in, and it's actually just the out. He left the Tiny at home. He left the Tiny at home. He'll buy bots, don't you worry.
He didn't relocate from home unless this is a graphical glitch.
I think he did.
No, you did from right there.
Oh, that was strange. I don't know why that happened.
He relocated from there to here.
Interesting. Toss, and this is gonna be it. He's hitting the Ancient. Glyph goes. Sakshika, there's no Guardian Angel, and actually no one's taking a lot of damage, but Butterfly goes. Now the GA comes out. Mind Control has some trouble. Echo Slam going through. There's going to be the Grave, and that actually just is going to be no one getting the kill on the Ancient. GG is called, and that's it. Nice game coming out. Basically, Unknown tried their best, but the IO Tiny combo, it worked pretty well for basically Unknown in game number 2, but in game number 3, Vega, they ride it all the way home. They take the series, they'll move on, and it's Vega versus M5 for your winner's bracket final for these qualifiers. Who would have thought? And basically Unknown, they move down to the loser's bracket, still with a chance to move on.
Yeah, very strong showing from Vega, especially in game 3. The IO Tiny, too much to handle for Unknown. This game, it seemed kind of over from like 15 to 20 minute mark, but took quite some time for them to actually close out the game. A couple of mistakes here and there, but in the end, they just did not have the damage to deal with it. Sure, Gyro might have had a lot of damage, but the supporting cast, just not enough damage coming from them with the BKBs available. So very impressive performance from Vega, actually, in all 3 games. In game 2, they were probably the most impressive, to be honest, even though they lost that game.
Yeah, that was a stellar game from Vega, and they almost took that game pretty much from the jaws of defeat, but unfortunately they did go down. However, in the long run, they take the series, and Vega and Moscow 5 looking so damn strong. These 2 juggernauts are going to meet head-on in the winner's final. Tomorrow we'll have more action for you. I believe it's Meepwned versus Complexity. Meepwned versus Complexity to be one of our only games tomorrow, and they might schedule something else off the back end of that. But as of right now, that'll be it for today. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Again, this is DotaPit. Make sure you check out the ticket and the compendium in the store. It's $9.99. All the proceeds will go to the prize pool. We also have the Treasure of the Hallowed Land. Proceeds from that go to the prize pool as well, and it's only $250. It's very nice sets in there. I highly recommend you check it out. Again, my name is Mott with BZF and Mott Packs. Any comments, criticisms, concerns, you can chat us out in chat, or you can tweet at us on Twitter at MottDota, at FRLDota, and at Mott Packs as well. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.